I just wish I knew more about guns.
Can we have a civil conversation about firearms?
I'm pro-Second Amendment, all the way. I have kids. Can I have guns in the house?
Guns? Let's talk.
Absolutely, we're going to talk. That's what we're here to do. Welcome to November. Can you believe it's November already?
It can't be.
I think we blinked or something, but thank goodness the temperatures have cooled down. But thank you for joining us on a cooler November day for Gun Freedom Radio.
Does that mean Christmas is coming in a month?
Oh, don't even talk about it. You just stressed me out. No. Yes, it's coming. And I'm excited. I love Christmas, but we need to pace ourselves. We just had Halloween last weekend, so give me some time.
I think if I just quit, then things will slow down, right?
Nope. That is not how it works.
Too fast.
All right. Well, we are Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform, and we are sponsored by azfirearms.com in Avondale, Arizona, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And I am one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd.
And I'm the other guy, Dan Todd. And today we're going to be telling it like it is. We've got the NSF Shot Show Business Magazine Secret Shopper article.
That's going to be fun.
Yes, and we've got the Responsibly Armed Citizens Report.
One of my favorites.
We've got two great guests here, Oscar Navaro and Gilbert Aguirre from the Goodyear Fire Department.
Sitting right here. Shh.
Then our second hour, we've got Challenging Options.
Opinions.
I did that again. Options, opinions.
I'm going to challenge that.
It's close,
My opinion is your opinion's being challenged.
Okay. We're going to review a brand new product just came out. It's a belt-fed 9mm upper for your AR-15. What? Did you hear me right?
Yeah.
9mm belt-fed upper for an AR-15.
Dan got to shoot it for the first time yesterday.
What's
Very
sweet about
excited.
it, shoot semi or full auto if you have a full auto or lower. Awesome. Then we're going to have my tip of the week, Dan's tip of the week.
Dan's tip of the week with a brand new theme song that you don't even know what it sounds like yet.
Why do you do this to me, Cheryl?
Because it's fun.
Stop it. I want to know what's going on.
You'll
I'm going
find
to start
out
doing
soon
that
enough.
to you. You wait till tomorrow.
No.
I'll fix you up.
I'm always one step ahead. You know that.
We've also got Rob Morse. He is Cheryl, why don't you talk about Rob Morse?
Rob is the author of the Slow Facts blog. Sorry for tripping on that. And he's going to come on to talk about the challenging opinions we were talking about. Lots of great stuff coming up. Rob's actually in our second hour, and I think he's listening in right now. So hello, Rob from Louisiana. Sit tight. We're going to get to you soon. But right now, Dan, I want to talk a little bit about some stuff that was in the news this week. What happened in the news this week that would normally have been wall-to-wall coverage? It would have had a presidential briefing breaking through to talk about what happened.
The guy that did the stabbing from being cut from a study hall class?
Well, that's what they're trying to paint the picture as, but I don't know about that.
I remember my study hall class.
Mm-hmm.
If I got kicked out, I'd go walk over to Circle K and get me a chocolate cupcake. That was great. So
wait, you didn't go and get a knife?
Maybe to open the cupcake.
To cut the cupcake?
But they're saying this guy was going to behead people.
Right.
Because he got
had a
cut.
manifesto. He wrote a manifesto because he got cut from study hall. I don't know, it doesn't follow for me.
But why, though? Why would they say that?
I have to believe, and this is something we're going to talk to Rob about later, media bias. I have to believe that there is some fixation on firearms but only if they can be painted as the villain of a story. And so it was a college campus. A guy came onto a college campus. He attacked his classmates and staff. And there's no news coverage of any degree. Now, if that guy had a firearm, I believe, and you challenge me if you want, I believe that the news story would have come out with much more magnification.
Cheryl, they would have come out with more if he'd have drawn a picture of a gun.
Well,
Come on.
don't even get me started on that trail.
Right.
The way that the kids get treated in the lower grades these days. I heard some other talk show hosts earlier this week. They were talking about the hugging incident that a girl had. It's an incident, right? A girl hugs her friend on the way to class. Hey, see you after class, or sorry you had a bad day, see you after class, whatever the hug was. And it becomes an incident. And I don't know if she's suspended from school or if she got detention or what the thing was, but it should have been nothing. And so then they were talking about, of course, the kid that chews the Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun, and it's, a capital offense. And then...
How about the bow and arrow kid?
Yes.
The kid was reenacting, just pretending like he was shooting a bow and arrow. Power Rangers. He's what, 6 or 8, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about, you guys got kids.
Yeah.
Power Rangers. And he's shooting a bow and arrow. Star Wars is coming out, so
Oh my
the
God.
lightsaber, what's going to happen then?
That's the thing that these other radio show talk hosts said that I thought was so right on, but yet funny. They said, okay, some date that's coming up, they said they better close the schools down on, let's say, December 18th. I don't know if that's the date they said. And because the day before Star Wars comes out, and if you don't think every kid isn't going to be on the playground doing fake pretend lightsaber wars and battles and duels, then
Cheryl, I'm going to be doing it at work.
I
mean,
wasn't
come
going to
on.
say that out loud on the radio. But
Star Wars is awesome. I'll be me and Jason will be like, Jason's my son-in-law. We're gonna be doing that. So
I can't do gun noises, and I definitely can't do lightsaber noises. Don't
pew pew pew.
pew. Yeah, no.
Okay.
And we're done with that story. So moving right along.
How about the honor walk?
Yes, the honor walk is coming up next. No, that's tomorrow.
I get up and be set up at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. I am so excited about that.
Oy, oy, oy.
It's gonna be fun. I've never woke up at 5:30. I'll just stay up tonight. That's
You
what I'll do.
Might
Just gonna
have to.
stay up.
But it's for such an amazing
Yes.
cause, and we are super excited to be a part of it. The honor walk is tomorrow morning, and it starts at 6:30 a.m. I know. Join azfirearms.com at the 5th Annual Honor Walk presented by Circle K on Sunday, November 8th. That's tomorrow. At Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix. Help us to recognize more than 670,000 Arizona veterans and active duty military. See azfirearms.com's World War II howitzer cannon with patriotic ceremonies, flyovers, and the moving Remembering Our Fallen exhibit. Honor Walk helps veterans go from green to blue by providing professional networking, mentoring, and career services. The proceeds from Honor Walk benefit local organizations serving veterans. Honor a veteran in your life. Create a personal profile of your favorite veteran and register today at honorwalk.com. For more information, contact Rick Young at 602-531-5021 or email info@honorwalk.com. Did that sound like it just came right off the top of my head?
It did, but I want everybody to come by and take a look at the working cannon and wake me up, please.
You could bring coffee. We
Yeah.
wouldn't mind. Actually, Dan doesn't drink coffee. He likes iced tea.
I love Coke, but Pepsi, but
Pepsi's
a
hard.
month. A month.
A month without a Pepsi.
Yes.
That's not bad.
I am a Pepsaholic.
Hello, my name's Dan Todd,
Yes.
and I am a Pepsaholic. So what else is in the news lately? This one's a little old, but it's still worth mentioning, I think, just because there is a little bit of a humorous angle to it. Not the fact that there was an accidental discharge and someone got shot in the foot, but the fact that how the trigger got pulled is
By a dog.
By a dog.
And, of course, everybody knows the dog's name was
Trigger.
Right. I know when I go hunting, I'm going to name my dog Safety. That's it. From now on, dog is going to be called Safety.
Wow. And honestly, a friend of mine said, this isn't a funny story. This could have been deadly. This could have been much more serious than it was. but you do have to keep your sense of humor about things. And when you name your dog Trigger and he steps on the trigger of your gun and shoots you in the foot, I mean, there's so many.
In the foot, even.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you shoot yourself in the foot, there's too many punchlines in that story to just act like there isn't. But from what I understand, when you are in a blind, I am not a hunter. I'm going to admit it. My name is Cheryl Todd. I'm not a hunter. But when you are in a hunting blind, it's a very cramped space. And from what I understand, these kinds of things are prone to happen, which is why you have to have your safety training. Everybody that goes out hunting should have safety training because you're in a different environment. You're not just at the range where everything's very controlled and you're standing in straight lines and you've got the range safety officer closing the line and opening the line. You're out there in the woods. You're climbing over trees and fences. And you made a comment about how to safely climb over trees and fences.
Well, they taught us that when I was 10 years old, that anytime you're going to cross a fence, you unload the gun, lean the gun against the fence, cross the fence, then pick the gun up, load the gun back up. But I mean, I have made mistakes. I shot my drill press once working on a gun.
True confessions.
Yes, and it was hard to replace that drill press. I loved it. But accidents can happen, but responsible gun owners, we have to be responsible, and there's no way that you should lay a gun on the ground not in safe mode with a dog walking around. Mm-hmm. Because you could kick the gun and cause the gun to go off. Mm-hmm. So, it's very fortunate that she didn't get hurt too bad.
Absolutely. Well, we've even heard of people pulling their gun out the back of their pickup.
Yep.
And they accidentally grab the trigger. So you got to be careful. Always practice the safety rules with firearms and always treat them as if they're loaded, even if you think they're not. Still to come, what is it like to shop for a firearm? We take an insider's look when we check out a recent article that a secret shopper shared with us, as well as our Responsibly Armed Citizens Report, and we have some special people in our studio today, Goodyear Firefighters, who have some very important life-saving and life-giving information. All this and more coming up.
Mark Levin believes the establishment is the problem.
Republicans and pseudo-conservatives inside the Beltway may want to dismiss Donald Trump, but let me tell you something. People out there are not dismissing Donald Trump. He makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. And I'm sick and tired of all the frauds who've done nothing for the conservative movement, but sit on their fat butts and type crap into a computer, passing judgment on everybody else.
Mark Levin, weeknights at 7, right before the Seth Leibson Show at 10, on Intelligent Talk 960, The Patriot.
For straight shooting, look to the biggest little gun shop in the West, azfirearms.com, where they have everything you need to be a safe and responsible gun owner. Huge selection and a friendly and knowledgeable staff. They're my nationwide hometown gun shop, and you should make it yours too. And when you go, tell them old Don Collier sent you.
Come in for AZ Firearms' huge gun buying event taking place now until the end of the month. From single items to entire collections, AZ Firearms pays you the highest values for your guns. Long guns, handguns, military, western, even your old brass and ammo. We buy it all. Find us online at azfirearms.com. That's azfirearms.com. Or visit us off I-10 at Dysart Road at 215 Western Avenue in historic Avondale. Don't miss the AZ Firearms huge gun buying event now through the end of the month. Check us out online at azfirearms.com or stop on by. AZ Firearms, the largest small gun shop in Arizona.
Hi, Hugh Hewitt from my good friends at Bell Ford. One thing I've come to know about Bell Ford is their gratitude and commitment to Arizona. They're thankful for the privilege of selling and servicing an American icon like Ford cars and trucks. Thankful for the courage and sacrifice for those who serve and have served our country. Thankful for their extraordinary employees, and especially thankful for their customers. And remember, Bell Ford and I have teamed up to raise $10,000 for the Semper Fi Injured Marine Fund. Belfort has been matching your donation dollar for dollar from now until Veterans Day. Help us reach that goal as we head into the home stretch. Come support a dealership who supports our troops. You also need to know that Belfort will never be undersold and will match any price no matter where you find it or who quotes it. And Belfort was voted the #1 auto dealer in Arizona by Ranking Arizona. That's out of all the dealerships in Arizona. Bell Ford, one small step off I-17 in Bell, one giant Ford store.
When you're working hard to beat debt, you got to think of creative ways to get your income up. Here's an idea. Sell some stuff at auction. Start with locally owned and operated potofgoldestate.com. The owners, Dan and Cheryl Todd, have over 60 years of combined experience in selling antiques, collectibles, guns, coins, and jewelry. And over their many years in business, they've earned the trust of hundreds just like you. Whether you're saving for a rainy day emergency fund or paying down debt, let potofgoldestate.com help you get the extra cash you need. Potofgoldestate.com will purchase your items outright, or you can consign them to their twice-a-month online auction. Pot of Gold's nationwide online auction is a great place to get top dollar for your collectibles. They specialize in everything from antiques, household items, to cars, boats, guns, and more at potofgoldestate.com. Or visit them off I-10 and Dysart Road in historic Avondale for some live auction action. For more, visit potofgoldestate.com. potofgoldestate.com.
Every day, we go about our lives driven by routine, our vision clouded by the very normalcy we take for granted. Countless victims of human trafficking walk among us, invisible. It's time to open our eyes. The Blue Campaign provides a unified voice for those who combat human trafficking, whether it's forced labor, domestic servitude, or the sex trade. Learn what you can do to help by visiting dhs.gov/Blue Campaign.
A place where powerful ideas and principles thrive every day. 960 The Patriot. 960 The Patriot.
Back to Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform. We are sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona, in Avondale, Arizona, as a matter of fact. And we are, Dan and I, the owners of azfirearms.com, as well as your hosts. And so as firearms store owners, this next segment that we're about to dive into was of particular interest to us. There was a recent article published in the NSSF Shot Business Magazine. That's the National Shooting Sports Foundation Shot Business Magazine, where a secret shopper went to 4 different gun shops, as was in Georgia, to see how the clerks would handle an attractive female and 3 of her friends out for a girls' day to look for this lady's very first firearms. They were looking for signs of the clerks either being dismissive or possibly subtly sexist or the dreaded pink gun syndrome. They were looking for, I know, they were looking for those things to rear their ugly head. And, you know, as gun store owners, we are concerned with how people experience our shop and how our staff interacts with the clientele and the customers. And I, as a female gun store owner, was especially riveted by this article. So, Dan, what were you going to say?
Well, when we first opened our store, and I read an article about the secret shopper, it made me very nervous because, nobody wants a secret shopper to come in and rag your store and put it in a national magazine. But as time went by and I learned through having the business the right etiquette and training that to our employees, I found that now if we had a secret shopper, it wouldn't bother me a bit because every day that we are in that store, we feel like we're okay. That not that we're worried about somebody watching us, but if somebody was watching us or reviewing us, we're okay.
Right.
And it's a good feeling. You wake up in the morning, you're not worried. You go to bed at night, not worried.
Right. Well, we actually even had an ATF audit. They do surprise inspections from every once in a while. We had one, 2 days ago? I'm driving
down the freeway. They closed the freeway at Bullard because of a really bad accident. I'm stuck in traffic, and my guy calls me and says, Dan, the ATF are here to do an audit. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not there. What can I do? I'm stuck in traffic. I can't move. Should I walk? How do I get to get there? And we got there.
Park the truck, call a cab. The ATF's at the store.
Right. About an hour and a half later, I stroll into the gun shop and, nervous and everything, and went through the audit, and it was very smooth, very professional. The lady was absolutely perfect with us, but our work was good too.
That's the thing, and that's the point of what you were saying about how when we were brand new with our store, on every level, any kind of microscope that was put on us felt so much different and so much bigger and so much more frightening than now that we've got about a decade under our belt, and we know what we're doing, we do everything correctly, and we have amazing staff members that, honestly, I have to praise God for sending such great people to us from various backgrounds, and everybody they didn't need to be trained on how to be great counter men, great staff members, because they help the customer, they teach the customer. They're never selling anything.
And with this crew that we have right now, we've never had to correct one of our employees about the proper etiquette with people.
No, and since there's this new surge of females coming into the market, I think that's why this particular article was written. There is a culture out there in some of the shooting ranges, some of the mom and popsy gun shops that we used to, I'll just even say when a woman would come in the store, it was always accompanied by a male.
Yeah, it was strange. It just didn't happen every day.
And now it's a completely natural and normal occurrence. But during that transition time, when even the manufacturers were trying to figure out, well, what do we do? How do we market to these women? So we got to have a pink gun. And so that's the pink gun syndrome, that if you were female and you walked in the door, people were automatically showing you to the only pink thing in the showcase. And I personally, as a female shooter, I want matte black. I don't want anything shiny. I don't want anything sparkly. I'm thinking tactical, right?
Yeah,
if I need that thing, I don't want to give my position away because I got some bling going on.
How do you think I feel when I walk into a different gun shop and somebody offers me a pink gun? I mean, come on.
I wasn't aware that happened, but I'm going to get a hold of whoever wrote this article and let them know. That's an outrage.
We're not going to talk about it.
No.
That's. I didn't want to tell you that because I was special that day, I guess.
Well, the article, we don't need to really dig deep into it, but one of the things that struck me, that there's Store B, they call it, I think, and they call that segment hands-on. Well, apparently this particular salesman, instead of just handing the lady the gun and letting her, maneuver it, he was touching her hands a lot to show her where to place her fingers.
That sounds like one of those rated R movies that
It was. Apparently it was maybe a little more than what was comfortable. And the thing that comes to mind is, would he have done that? Even if he wasn't intending to be like a creeper, or maybe he wasn't intending to be flirtatious or anything, would he have done that with anybody else, like with a male of any age, of any experience level? Maybe he's just an extremely tactile person.
That would be uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
I have my space.
Yeah. Your bubble.
Yeah. Even if a woman did it, it would be uncomfortable to me. Mm-hmm. That's not a good way to go. So did he pass?
He got, let me look here. Oh, they got 2 stars out of 5. So that one, but they also, it says they had a sign, they had an uncomfortable sign up that said something about remove your hood, like don't wear a hoodie in the store, keep your hands out of your pocket. Like this is the written sign as you're walking in their door. It just kind of made the writer feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But the one that got greatest marks offered many different selections, never tried to sell the lady, just tried to inform her, didn't show her anything pink, made her aware of, this is our selection, and there was a pink one, but didn't go towards it. I think that was the main things that caused them to really shine. Good selection, that sort of thing. It's a great article. It's a lot of fun to read, and And for us, I felt like, do I need to have our staff read this? Are they tripping over any of these areas?
Well, they're not. They're not tripping. But, we read the articles, and we help guide by those articles.
Absolutely.
So I enjoy reading those.
Absolutely. So we do have pink guns. I think we have purple guns.
And we have machine guns.
And but do we have pink machine guns? Not yet.
That's a good, no.
No? Is that our next great marketing
Probably
idea?
not.
But then we're not going to be able to show them to any women because that's sexist. That is subtly sexist when we do that. All right. Moving along.
Hey, want to see my pink gun?
No. Nobody wants to see your pink gun. Coming up, you won't want to miss meeting our in-house guests, Goodyear Firefighters. They are here with us today, sharing important life-saving and life-giving information that all firefighters and their families will want to know. And also our Responsibly Armed Citizen Report. Stick around right after the break.
Hi, folks. I'm Don Carter. If you're looking for the biggest little gun shop in the West, look to azfirearms.com. They have 1,100 guns in stock and a knowledgeable staff to help you find just the right firearm for you. azfirearms.com is my nationwide hometown gun shop, and you should make it yours, too.
Come in for AZ Firearms' huge gun buying event taking place now until the end of the month. From single items to entire collections, AZ Firearms pays you the highest values for your guns. Long guns, handguns, military, western, even your old brass and ammo. We buy it all. Find us online at azfirearms.com. That's azfirearms.com. Or visit us off I-10 at Dysart Road at 215 Western Avenue in historic Avondale. Don't miss the AZ Firearms huge gun buying event now through the end of the month. Check us out online at azfirearms.com or stop on by. AZ Firearms, the largest small gun shop in Arizona.
Straight talk, honest answers. The Car Pro Show with Jerry Reynolds and Kevin McCarthy.
I mean, I get that all the time. People say, I want to buy a 2-year-old Chevy Silverado. Why don't you buy a new one? Same price.
That's just crazy.
And the outlook,
it's not going to change.
Is it's probably going to get worse. They're not going to be there because they didn't get sold in the first place. You can't manufacture used cars.
Got a burning question? Email the Car Pro at carproshow.com.
Listen to the Car Pro Show every Saturday night from 10 p.m. to midnight, right here on 960 The Patriot.
You can now listen to all of your favorite 960 The Patriot programs on iHeartRadio.
Hey everybody, this is Joey Rocket Shoes Dillon, world champion gunslinger and Hollywood gun coach. In the Westerns, there's always a good guy and a bad guy, and sometimes the ugly guy. And I always root for the good guy, which is why I'm here to tell you about the good folks over at azfirearms.com. They are straight shooters and always give you the best deal in town. azfirearms.com is the biggest little gun shop in Arizona and have something for every single gun enthusiast. Long guns, pistols, hunting, military, law enforcement, home protection, you name it. And when you've got some guns to sell or trade in and trade up, azfirearms.com are the folks to see. Geez, they bought a cannon once. They are family-owned and operated, friendly staff, courteous, totally reliable. azfirearms.com will give you the best value for your used guns. So stop in, see my friends Dan and Cheryl Todd at azfirearms.com in Old Town Avondale off the I-10 and Dysart Road, and tell them Joey Rocket Shoes Dillon sent you.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician. This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really? He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Ann Coulter and Hugh Hewitt, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at 960thepatriot.com. The biggest political event of 2015, the Future of Freedom Tour, sponsored by Guns Etc. Got an iPhone, BlackBerry, or smartphone? Download the Patriot app for your phone. Just go to your app store.
Welcome back to Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform. We are sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And we are back now with one of my favorite segments that we do, the Responsibly Armed Citizens Report.
Fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
So this week in our Responsibly Armed Citizen Report, we have a story out of Nottoway County, Virginia. Sounds like a nice place. Actually, it looks like a nice place in the news clip that we're going to play later. Unfortunately, I can't show you. You'll just have to hear it. A 63-year-old man is home alone with his 11-year-old son. A 35-year-old female, a lady, breaks into the home. She's armed with a gun and looking for a confrontation. There's an indication maybe that the man and the woman had previously been in a relationship, and when the person trying to do you harm not only knows the layout of your home, but your habits inside of that home, it becomes even more difficult to protect yourself. And I think this is an example of you don't need a gun until you do.
The first call that there was a problem on East Courthouse Road came at 6:35 from inside this home, where the caller said there was a female intruder, she had a gun, and that she had been shot. As blue lights converged around this house, I was shot. Neighbors left wondering what had happened.
I get up and I look out the window, and like he said, there was a whole bunch of cops and everything over there.
Nottoway County Sheriff's deputies arrive and find a woman inside who had been shot. She died at the scene. The man who lives here, family members say, had dated the woman at one time, and he lives here with his 11-year-old son.
Had to be very traumatizing to him, from him not being able to get away from what was going on.
Investigators say the woman was armed with a pistol when she broke into the home and was shot during a struggle with the man who lives there. Sources tell CBS 6 sheriff's deputies have never been called to the home in the past. The man and his son living in the rental home for about a year. Neighbors say the man is a mechanic and describe him as
quiet, very humble. He speaks every now and then, but like I say, he was always going to work, so I didn't see him that much.
Wow. Cheryl, did I get that right? What was the name of the town?
Are you about to make a bad joke?
What was the name of the town, Cheryl?
Oh, no. The name of the town is Nottoway County.
You know, probably not a way for this woman to do that. Walking in with a gun in Nottoway County.
No, I'm just groaning. I'm not even going to laugh at
No,
that.
think about
Nope.
it. I mean, a woman shouldn't walk in with a gun to attack her.
I know, this is serious. This is serious, although I do think that was pretty clever. But honestly.
Sort of like Trigger the dog?
Yeah, I guess there's a theme running. I thought we were supposed to tell it like it is today, not make really bad jokes.
Well, okay.
That's the best you can do. All right.
I'm not smiling.
Yes, you are. You are giggling over there. But just for a second, let's just for a second look at this story. I think for this man, just even getting past the disbelief that he may have to use deadly force against someone that he had a relationship with, somebody that he shared probably the home with.
63 years old. I mean, what? Wow.
Right. Well, and the other thing, the piece of the story that, I kind of play the movie through in my mind all the time and think about the what ifs. This could have easily been one of those double murder suicides. I mean, the man, his son, if this girl was desperate and at her wit's end, and that we would have heard about.
She had to be
right?
desperate. She went in there with a gun. So you never know what the ending result would have been if she would have had the upper hand.
Right. I agree. But I'll let you say your really bad joke one more time.
No, I'm thinking they need to change the name of that town to Don't Dare Do It.
Don't dare. It's not a way to handle things.
It's sure not.
Not a way to enter somebody else's home.
Not a way to end your day.
No.
Or your life.
It's true. It's true. All right.
It's not funny, though.
Did you just say it's not funny? I'm done. I'm going to go on break and let you finish the show. This is serious business, but honestly, I do want to say that if that had turned out to be a tragedy with a double murder suicide, I know we would have heard about that on the news. Right. And we've got Rob Morse coming up later in our second hour, and he's going to talk about media bias and the stories that we do hear and the stories that we don't hear. And I think he's going to throw some opinions in about why that may or may not be. But I think we would have heard more about this if it had gone one way, and since it went the way that it did, and there was somebody that was responsibly armed protecting his family and himself, we basically hear peep nothing. You and I have to scour Facebook and other sources to find these local stories to bring them to the air. Otherwise, nobody ever knows that they've ever happened.
Right.
So, still to come, we have firefighters Gilbert Aguirre and Oscar Navaro here in the studio with us, and they have some life-saving and life-giving information that every firefighter and their families need to know about right after the break.
When the smartest audience in talk radio turns 960 The Patriot on every day, good things happen. Listeners are informed and entertained. Not only that, the economy is stimulated by the advertisers who use this radio station to reach our great listeners. If you run a business, please consider advertising it to people who share your same values and principles. The Patriot Listener. Visit 960thepatriot.com or call Heath Garluzzo at 602-955-9600 today.
Hey ladies, Cheryl Todd here from azfirearms.com. Many of us ladies are taking the important step of becoming responsibly armed, but it can be an intimidating process. And with all the politics swirling, a first-time gun buyer, whether a guy or a lady, might feel uncertain about where to begin and who to trust. At azfirearms.com, we are a small, friendly, family-owned shop that specializes in first-time gun buyers. We are staffed with knowledgeable people who are ready to help answer all of your questions. My husband Dan and I pride ourselves on having a safe, no-pressure environment. Once you have decided on a purchase, azfirearms.com partners with professional firearms instructors who will train you to become a responsible, safe, prepared, and proficient gun owner. So ladies and gents, when you are looking for personalized service and a huge selection, come to azfirearms.com in Old Town Avondale off the I-10 and Dysart Road, or visit us on the web at azfirearms.com.
Do you have questions like,
what is Medicare?
What does it cover and how much does it cost?
Is traditional Medicare all I need?
When is it available to me and what are my options?
Does it cover my prescriptions?
For answers, call Tina Borges at TRB Insurance Service.
She'll listen to your specific needs and guide you through the Medicare maze.
Call 602-758-8998.
And when you have the honest and accurate answers you need, you can make a well-informed healthcare decision with confidence.
For nearly 2 decades, Tina Borges and TRB Insurance Service have been assisting people find the answers they need when it comes to Medicare.
Whether you're eligible now or soon to be eligible, you'll be glad to know there's someone there to make it easy from the very first step.
Find your way through the Medicare maze with Tina Borges and TRB Insurance.
602-758-8998. That's 602-758-8998.
When you're working hard to beat debt, you got to think of creative ways to get your income up. Here's an idea. Sell some stuff at auction. Start with locally owned and operated potofgoldestate.com. The owners, Dan and Cheryl Todd, have over 60 years of combined experience in selling antiques, collectibles, guns, coins, and jewelry. And over their many years in business, they've earned the trust of hundreds just like you. Whether you're saving for a rainy day emergency fund or paying down debt, let potofgoldestate.com help you get the extra cash you need. Potofgoldestate.com will purchase your items outright, or you can consign them to their twice-a-month online auction. Pot of Gold's nationwide online auction is a great place to get top dollar for your collectibles. They specialize in everything from antiques, household items, to cars, boats, guns, and more at potofgoldestate.com. Or visit them off I-10 and Dysart Road in historic Avondale for some live auction action. For more, visit potofgoldestate.com. potofgoldestate.com.
If you're looking for the latest videos, audio, and articles from the top political minds from around the country, like Jonah Goldberg, Thomas Sowell, Michelle Malkin, and many more, then The Patriot has you covered. Just log on to 960thepatriot.com today. Got an iPhone, BlackBerry, or smartphone? Download the Patriot app for your phone. Just go to your app store or log on to 960thepatriot.com today. The Patriot.
Welcome back to Gun Freedom Radio on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Thank you for being here with us today for a little bit of education, engagement, and information, right? Is that what we do? And we are sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And we are here in the studio with two very important guests that I'm so excited to have with us. Now, this segment isn't specifically about guns or firearms, but since we, Dan, would you agree with me that we view guns as life-saving, that firefighters are lifesavers too, and we think that the next two guests fit our show perfectly. I'm going to figure out some way to make these guys fit because I just am so, I love what they do. I love why they do it, and they've got a great story to share with us today. We're just proud to honor those who serve, and firefighters are definitely in service of their fellow man and woman.
And they also like guns. A lot of them like guns.
Yeah. Well, you guys better be nodding, right, if you're in the room with us.
Yes. Yes.
So welcome to the show. We've got Gilbert Aguirre.
Hi.
And we've got Oscar Navaro.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So the reason that we've brought you guys in today isn't just because we think firefighters are awesome, but Gilbert's got a little bit of a story to tell us. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what brings you here today.
Well, thank you for having us. My name's Gilbert Aguirre. I'm a firefighter paramedic with the city of Goodyear. I've been a firefighter for 15 years. And just a couple months ago in May, June 2nd, actually, I was diagnosed with leukemia. And so it's been a life-changing experience for me and my family.
Now, is this something that runs in your family?
No, it does not.
This is something that came completely unexpectedly, and we think, right, connected with what you do as a firefighter.
Yeah, that's correct. My doctors told me that it had nothing to do with my family, or that I could pass it on to my kids. I got 3 boys. It's something that I was exposed to with my line of work, which is a firefighter. I'm 35 years old, and my whole adult life I've been a firefighter.
So we're talking about, it's a part of what you've encountered in your job. Kind of to help us understand that a little bit, because aren't you guys completely encased in hazmat suits? What do you call them?
Yeah, pretty much that's true. We do have our, it's called our bunker gear. We got face mask, SCBA, that protects us from our breathing and stuff like that. But we're finding that the biggest exposure that we get now is after the call. So we're being protected while being in the fire, but all that stays on our equipment. And your body being the biggest organ, your skin being the biggest organ in your body, now it tends to absorb everything. So all that chemicals and everything that we have after a fire stays on our gear, and our pores are all open. So now our body starts absorbing all that.
Well, especially in such a hot climate like Arizona, because I mean, I've never been a firefighter, but maybe you're sweating anyway, constantly, says Oscar. So, and Oscar's here because he is not only best friends since a long time ago with Gilbert, but also he's part of the United Goodyear Firefighters Charities. Tell us a little bit about your connection with all of this, Oscar.
So yes, being part of the United Goodyear Firefighter Charities, we are a nonprofit organization that helps our members and other organizations, and helping our members, this really hit home, and it really made us step up to help our brother in need at this time. So we're doing everything we can to help them with extra bills, medical bills, and any other expenses that we can help our brother here.
Absolutely. So let's go back a little bit. So you're just doing your normal work, right, Gilbert? And then how do you start having symptoms? What happened?
No, I had no symptoms at all. I felt great, and every year we get a yearly physical through work. I went in and had my blood work done a week before my actual physical. After I went in and had my blood work, the next morning I was getting a phone call back saying, your blood work your platelet count is extremely elevated. We think it's a mistake. You need to come back in and do some more blood work. So, okay, went and did that. The next morning, they're calling back, and they're like, no, it's not a mistake. It's consistent. Your blood work is extremely elevated. We have to take you out the fire truck right now, and your next step is to go see your primary care. I went and did that, and then they sent me to a hematologist, oncologist from that point on.
Wow, and I'm sure none of that is cheap, but I imagine you have health care. You have something to help pay for these doctor visits and follow-ups and chemo. Is chemo one of the options? Tell us a little bit about all that angle.
Yes, that's correct. Fortunately, I do have insurance. Through my job, we have health insurance, and it's been taking the majority of the cost, but there's still a lot of out-of-pocket costs on my end. I'm currently doing a chemo. I'm doing an oral form of chemo. It's a second-generation chemo, and so I'm doing that. Fortunately, I don't get all the bad side effects that people that get infused chemo get. But there's days where I still have some rough days. Typical just fatigue, being nauseous a lot of joint pain. But for the most part, I feel I'm pretty fortunate that I'm not truly sick.
Well, I think it's awesome, and it speaks to who you are, that you could even sit here and in one breath say, so at 35 I'm diagnosed with leukemia, and the next breath you say, but I'm fortunate. And you're wearing a shirt that I think is so awesome, and it's something that you said kind of came from your dad, and it's kind of a personal motto, and it says todo bien.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
That's correct. It's something that holds true to my heart. Todo bien means it's all good. And it's something that my dad taught me since I was little. Sorry if I get emotional.
Totally understandable.
Something that he taught me since I was little, that no matter how bad life gets, as long as you're alive and kicking, it's all good. You got to find a way to get through it and just keep moving forward. And my dad passed away 7 years ago, and soon after that, I tattooed that on my chest. And I look at it every morning, and just as a reminder that, hey, it's all good. Get up and keep moving, and now even more so than ever.
Absolutely, and what a great message to your boys.
Gilbert, I met you last night, and you impressed me a lot. I mean, it's going to be something that I remember for the rest of my life. But, you said you have leukemia, but you're blessed. And you told me the stories about going to the hospital and seeing people that are doing the other leukemia treatments and that are, really in bad shape. And you're looking at yourself saying you're blessed. And that's amazing.
Yeah, that's correct. I consider myself very fortunate. I get treated at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and I go in there a lot. I spend a lot of time there for treatments, and I see a lot of people that are truly sick, and I consider myself fortunate and blessed that I'm not going through that, and sometimes I feel bad for even complaining or saying that I'm not feeling good, because I see those people and I see that they're truly sick. So, if this is the worst that it gets for me, then I'll take it.
Well, I was at Marley's last night. They were having an event there, a fundraising event, and I saw all the people there, and they weren't friends. They were family.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just could tell.
Yeah.
And I felt like family, too. You guys are awesome.
And speaking back to Oscar, so you guys are very proactive and which I think is just part of being a first responder, right?
Yes.
Okay, we got an issue. What are we going to do about it? We're not going to sit there and wallow in it. We're going to do something about it. So what are we banding together? Our band of brothers here. What are you guys doing? Because you're kind of attacking this from two ends, right?
Yes. So being part of a union and also our charity organization, we found an organization that's called Be the Match. And they've come on board, and what they are is they find a bone marrow donor. And when you hear bone marrow donor, you think, wow, okay, I'm going to have to get drilled, and the pain.
It's different now. I investigated.
It is. And as soon as people get educated on it, a lot of people want to volunteer and sign up. So it's a simple swab of the mouth, 4 different little swabs. They put you in a database, and if you're compatible or a possible match, then they have you come in and do a little bit more blood work. And if you are a potential match, they take you to wherever the recipient is, and they just draw blood. And it's kind of like donating platelets and plasma. They kind of get to pick at the blood cells that they need to be able to infuse into the person that needs it. If it's a little bit more extreme, then yes, there is still that possibility you might have to get the whole procedure of a drill. But it's a new technology, a new system that they're doing, so it's a lot easier.
Yeah,
and
it's like an Advil afterwards instead of a week of being laid up. So that's the one end. That's the building a donor database, basically, right? A population. But from the front end, the early detection, right? Isn't that an important key to this?
And it is, that's the things that we're exposed to on a daily basis. Early detection is really important, and that's why we need to get our cancel screens and our physicals and our blood work and our just doctor daily checkups or weekly or monthly checkups, and I think that's really important. I think we're fortunate that we maybe caught this at an early stage with Gilbert, so we can be able to.
Absolutely. So the department's 100% behind you.
Yes, my department has been from the top to bottom. Everybody has been great with me and my family. I get to speak to my chief constantly. He calls me. Other chiefs call me. All the guys that I work with on the fire trucks are constantly checking in on me. So I have 100% support from my department, which is absolutely awesome.
So what can we do? I mean, what's the next event, or how can we help with fundraising? What do you want us to do?
Can I say, one of the big things that we're looking at, like Oscar said, is the Be the Match. Doing that, we're looking at trying to do another event. But just kind of going back with Be the Match, just getting more numbers of people signing up and being donors, because I myself was on the list, and just recently, because all my treatment's going so well, I was removed from the donor list. But one of the things that I found interesting as going through and seeing the transplant doctors and seeing all these different doctors was that that there's a high incidence, or a lot of the people that we need to sign up are minorities. So if you're a minority, that's the biggest numbers we need, especially Native Americans. There's a lot of people that are on that list, and they just don't have the donors for it. Native Americans, all minorities are the biggest numbers that they need for that list.
And that's beamatch.org. You would go there, right?
Yeah, Be the Match.
Bethematch.org. And you guys are going to have some swabbing events coming up.
Yes, at our local fire stations, and we'll have some news for those.
Yeah, and how do we, what website do we go to? What Facebook page do we go to?
We have the United Goodyear Firefighter Facebook page, and also UGFF.org.
UGFF.org.
And also Be the Match itself. You can go to their website, and they have all the tons of information on there about signing up for it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. Dan's going to kind of give us a little bit of wrap up here, and then we're going to have to run.
Okay, AZ Firearms has donated a heads down PV9 223 semi-automatic rifle. We're going to have a drawing for that. You can come to the store. They're $10 a piece, or you can go online and buy them. We're raising money for your organization, and all the money goes to that.
Trying to bring $30,000 to help these guys out. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Our
Thank you
prayers are
guys
with
for
you.
having us.
Be
We
sure to
really appreciate it.
Yeah, be sure to report back and let us know how it's going. All right, coming up our second hour, don't move a muscle. We've got Rob Morse from Slow Facts Blog coming right up.